Hi, everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So, this lady started a social experiment on TikTok, and oh my god, it's got people talking. So, what she does is she calls all them churches, right? And she pretends to be a mom who is in need of formula. And in some of her videos, she will have a crying baby in the background, a fake crying baby in the background. So she calls them, she asks them if they can help her with a can of formula. And some of the responses from these churches.
26 churches, and 23 of them turned her down. This is what happened to Nicolene. She called 26 churches for help. She pretended to be a desperate mother without baby formula, even playing the sound of a baby crying in the background, begging for help. Some churches gave excuses, some hung up, and others coldly responded, "We don't do that here." But she didn't give up. She made another call, but this time not to a church, to a Muslim mosque. The response was completely different. Where are you? What kind of formula do you need? Come here, we'll help you. The churches who preach love thy neighbor failed to offer any help in a time of need, while the often misunderstood Muslim community showed what real faith looks like through action. After this experiment, some supported Nicole, believing she exposed the hypocrisy of the religious system. Others criticized her for stirring unnecessary controversy. But no matter where you stand, we all have to ask ourselves, if even those who claim to preach love can't practice it, then where can we find real love?
Yeah, how can I help you?
Hi, I was wanting to see if y'all could help with a small can of baby formula. I have a 2-month-old and she's been out since last night, so she's gone all night and all day without anything to eat.
We don't have any formula around, darling. I'm sorry. None. No diapers, anything for babies. We don't have anything.
Could that be something you all could get and I could just pick it up?
No, we can't right now. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and this one is located in Columbia, South Carolina, so we are going to call and see if they would be able to help.
Hello?
Hi, I was wanting to see if y'all could help with a can of formula. I have a 2-month-old and she ran out of formula last night, so she's been going all night and all day without anything to eat.
We unfortunately cannot help with that. Sorry.
Y'all don't help with baby formula or like anything?
I don't. Not that I know of. No, sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sheila, may I help you?
Hi. Yes. I was calling to see if y'all by chance had any like baby formula.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I have a 2-month-old and I ran out of formula last night, so she's gone all night and all day without formula. I was wanting to see if there's any way y'all could get like a small can of baby formula.
I can transfer you to our benevolence. Hold on.
Okay. Like bringing in somebody else.
At the
The
tone, please
voicemail.
record your
We're gonna call
message.
back.
When you finish. First Baptist Dallas, this is Sheila. May I help you?
Hi. Yes. Nobody answered when you switched me over.
No one answered. Did
Yeah.
you leave a message for them?
No, I'm just trying to, I mean, she's gone all night and all day without formula, so I'm just trying to make sure, like, somebody can answer. So I didn't know if you could just let me know if it's something that y'all could do.
I'm not aware of any programs that we have like that to help you. Sorry.
Okay, hold on just one second while I turn off my baby, okay? Okay, so I'm actually conducting a social experiment to see if churches would help feed a starving baby. Hello?
So, what would you like for me to say?
I mean, honestly, my next question is, are you pro-life? Is your church pro-life? That's the second time. That's why I got hung up on. Like, they don't even know what to say. The Islamic Center of Charlotte just called back. Speak of a baby.
Islamic Center of Charlotte, how may I help you?
Hi, yes. I was trying to call. I have a 2-month-old baby and I ran out of formula last night, and I was wanting to see if there's any way you all could help with a can of baby formula.
We can, ma'am. Where do you live? Do you live in Charlotte?
Yes, I'm like 10 minutes from you all.
Okay. And what kind of formula you need?
It's the Good Start.
Good start. Yeah, that's fine, ma'am. If you come over here, we'll help you.
Okay, hold on just one second, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I'm actually doing a social experiment. So I don't have a baby and I don't have a need, but I am doing a social experiment just to see which churches would actually help a starving baby. And unfortunately, there's so many that say no, and you immediately was like, yes, of course. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for your heart. And
Hardy Choke Church of God.
Hi. I was wanting to see if you all could help at all. I have a 2-month-old baby and I ran out of formula last night. I was wanting to see if y'all could help with formula.
Let me see. Give me your name and number. Are you needing?
I just need the Good Start formula.
Okay. So how much do you need? I need to know about that.
I'm not sure. I think I usually have, I think it's maybe $17 at Walmart. I mean, if y'all could just get the formula, I could pick it up or have somebody come get it.
Well, I'm an officer right now for myself, and I'll see if I can get somebody to do this.
Okay.
We can do this. I'll just see. Tell me what it is it's called in case I have to go get it, because I'm a great-grandpa. I'm not used to picking up formula, okay? What's it called?
Good Start.
Good Start. And
Sir? Sir?
It's for infants?
Yes, sir.
Infants formula, is any flavor or anything to it, or just...
No, sir. Hey, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Hey, okay, I'm actually just testing churches to see which ones would actually help the community, and you just touched my heart. And I just want you to know that you are an amazing person. That's the formula, but I don't need it. I just wanted to see if you were willing to help. And I just wanted to let you know that you touched me today, that you were actually willing to help or find the help.
Tag her. Her name is there on the screen. I always tag them. So you can go to her page and watch. I think at this point, this morning, she's gotten to 43 churches. And out of the 43, I think it's 9 or 10 who said yes, they will do it, including the mosque and the pro-life center. But the rest of them said no. They even had the Charlie Kirk Church. They have Joel Austin Church. They have Latter-day Saint Church. I know a lot of people don't like it when I make videos like this on a Sunday. It's like, but it's a Sunday. Why are you? Well, consider this my sermon. Yeah, consider it my sermon. I will urge you all to start calling your churches and asking them for help and see how they feel about you asking them for help. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was this other church where this man of God was calling out people to come and give some money towards a project or something like that. And he said he wanted people who had 1,000 or something like that. Meaning he wanted people who can donate $2,000, right? They call it sowing seeds. This lady got up and she didn't have the $2,000. I think she had 1,400 or 1,500 or 1,600 or something like that. She got to the front, and this man called her out for it. Like, I was calling for 2,000 people who had $2,000. Why are you here? Something like that. And it was so embarrassing. It also started a whole debate. If you said 2,000 and somebody can give you 1,500, that's a lot of money still. Why are you calling her out? And there were so many people in the comment section from the church saying, oh, she should have sat down and waited to be called and so on and so forth. But personally, this is some of the reasons why I personally don't go to church, because you see people suffering all the time. You see people suffering in the church, and yet they are being told to sow seed. Sowing seed for what? To who? There was a comment there. If I find, I'm going to insert it. And they were talking, someone was saying something in the lines of the people that were responding were not actually church, they are like receptionists or something like that, and so they probably don't have access to funds and so on and so forth. And I'm like, okay, so if it's a business, right, is that your representative? Okay, then choose the right people to represent your church, because the thing is, nobody knows if they are receptionists alone, if they are not receptionists, if you hire them, they are not Christians themselves. Nobody knows. All we know is that when I pick up the phone and I call, and this is your church and this is your number, I'm expecting to speak to a representative of your church. So if that person speaks for your church and the person is telling us that they can't help you, even though they can hear a crying baby in the background, what are you trying to say again? Come again, because I couldn't hear you. And I really would love to see this experiment in most of these African churches because anyway, let's get in.
This social experiment that this woman on TikTok is doing, where she's calling different churches and asking for help affording baby formula, and they're literally all turning her down, is making me embarrassed to be a Christian. Like, truly. I'm a Christian, I believe in God, but like, there are some times when I'm like, it is so hard to associate with Christianity right now, because like, there really is no hate like the Christian love. Like, I will admit that. I've seen it firsthand. It's like, and I guarantee you, I bet you if she called a gay bar or a dive bar and was like, hey, I really need help affording formula right now. Like, could you help a girl out? I bet you they'd be like, of course. And it makes you realize, like, some of the worst people you will meet are Bible thumpers, and some of the best people you will meet are just, like, quote-unquote sinners. And we need to tax churches. I'm, like, so disgusted right now. I'm so embarrassed as a Christian. Like, this is disgusting. But this is journalism.
I am calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed.
So I saw her do this experiment and I wanted to try in the DMV area. However, I'm going to go ahead and start with my church and see how they respond. Let me call them. Today is a Friday, so I don't know if they're going to pick up, but let's see.
Good morning, Crossroads Baptist Church, Anita speaking.
Hi there. I wanted to call in to see if you guys have any type of support. I have a 6-month-old and I'm ran out of formula, and I wanted to see if you guys could help with that.
We don't. I'm sorry. Don't know. You may want to check back later around Thanksgiving, see if we have any baskets or anything. But right now we don't.
You cannot help with formula.
No, we cannot. No. We don't do that. You may want to try another church. We have quite a few things going on right now financially. We have people without jobs, etc. But and these are church members. But right now we don't have any kind of funds set aside for that. So I'm sorry.
I have a hungry baby, though.
I understand. There's nothing we can do right now. You said may want to try a few other churches, see if they can help you.
Is this just...
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I'm so disappointed. Oh my God.
Let me tell you why all these churches are saying no when this lady is calling desperate because her baby is starving, asking for a can of formula. I used to work in churches and I managed nonprofit organizations, specifically homeless shelters that were also operated and managed by para-religious organizations. So I got a lot of experience in this area. And basically, if you're just the front desk person and someone is calling needing money or needing a specific thing you don't have on you at that moment, you would need access to the church funds. And in order to get access to the church funds as someone who's just a secretary, probably a church volunteer, they're probably not getting paid. Most of the people working at these churches are not getting paid. Or they're just getting like living stipends that are like way below what you are actually supposed to pay people because they have different rules. So they probably don't have any money either. But basically those funds have to be approved by like a whole group of people or at least the head pastor. And getting a hold of him, if you're just a volunteer person, can be kind of tricky, especially at a mega church. Finding someone who has decision-making power over the budget, who has like an actual like church funds card, that's going to be challenging. And they already have their budget and how they're allocating things. And if it's not in the budget, they're not going to buy it. One of the shelters that I worked at was like a gospel run, like religious shelter. I was paid as little as they could possibly pay me. At 18 years old, I was often one of the only people working there, running the whole thing by myself. They didn't even have a budget for food. I had to rely on just what was donated. Just random shit people would drop off sometimes. And I'd play like a game show game, trying to feed 30 plus people with like a can of corn, a bag of pasta, there's some milk in the fridge, I don't know if it's still good, I don't have any meat, there's a can of tuna, like every day. The only thing they really wanted to like put money into was being able to increase the amount of beds. And that was mainly because those statistics just look good for things like presenting that at a donor like thing or in front of church. And then I stopped being a Christian and going to church. Because my whole thing was Jesus was all about helping people as much as he can. And that's not what most of the Christians and churches around me were doing at all. And the more I pushed for them to do that, the more pushback I got, and it drove me insane. They make it hard to help people while still being able to say, we help people. And the way these bored church ladies, the ladies on the board, all from these churches, like 60 years old, biggest parents you'd ever meet, would talk to the women I worked with. The way they would talk down to them, especially women of color, was so disgusting. Do you know what it's like to have to call out a 60-year-old plus woman when you are 18 years old because of how badly they are treating people? And that was the main person in charge. Because she just wants to be able to say she's on the fuck for the homeless shelter. So she can feel like a good person. And that's how most of these people are. It's gross. There are not a lot of people following Christ in these Christian churches. Especially leadership people. I've had a lot of very kind pastors. Especially to me, but a lot of the hypocrisy was still there. And don't even get me started on church politics.
So I went down this rabbit hole yesterday and this morning. Have you all seen the video of the woman who is calling churches? She's taking requests from people in her comments to call churches. She has like this recording of a baby playing in the background. And she's basically saying to the church, SNAP benefits have been cut off. I have not fed my child since yesterday. My child is crying. Can you please help me with 1 can of formula? I believe she called about 29 churches. So I was going through the list and just, trying to see how many churches she called. And she was calling different churches from different cities, a lot of really large churches who, we know get a lot of donations. You're getting, members are giving you money. You're getting tax write-offs, whatever. Of all of the churches that she called, predominantly Christian, only 3 offered to help her for 1 can of milk. It was 2 Black Christian churches, and I believe it was a mosque. There was one church that immediately said something about this is Biden's fault. Now, mind you, I just need 1 can of milk. She's like, I'm willing to come over. I'm 2 minutes away. That man said that this is Biden's fault. Another church that she called said that they could only help if she was a member of the church. Now, mind you, there's a baby crying in the background. I was particularly disappointed with the women who answered the phones because I, regardless of what the church policy is, regardless of whether the church would help or not, I would be like, I'm going to run to Walmart. I'm going to get you a case myself. Come get the milk. So I was just particularly disappointed in the women. A lot of them were making it political. They were peddling her off to other places, saying, well, have you tried this? And she was like, yeah, I called them all. They all said to call the church. So I'm calling the church. But there was one lady who, it was at I think a Buddhist temple. She was in distress. She really, really wanted to help. But I don't know that she really knew how to help, but I could tell that she really wanted to help. Like she kept at it and kept at it. There was another church that said, not only are we going to help you, we're going to try to give you resources so that you could help yourself. And, churches need to be on notice because times are tough right now for a lot of people. And you cannot be a Christian. You can't be a Christian and not help those in need. You can't be. Some churches were asking what religion the person was. Hunger has nothing to do with religion. This baby is crying and hungry. So only the Christian child you will help or only the Catholic? It was just really shocking and really disappointing. So a lot of other people have jumped on, and I'm interested to see an Atlanta series with our mega churches because, we have a church on every corner. And I am very interested to see what the response from Atlanta would be because she called a church in Denver. She called a church in Tennessee. Like it was just different cities. But I'm really interested to see an Atlanta edition. I'm going to try to tag the original poster so that you could go on her post and listen to how disappointing these churches are. And a lot of these churches had a unique opportunity to show up, even if they weren't going to show out, to just show up for this woman. All she asked for was 1 can. And them folks told her they couldn't help her. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. That was just really, really interesting, but very disappointing.
28 no's, 9 yeses. 28 no's, 9 yeses. Ladies calling around churches saying that she has a 2-month-old baby that hasn't eaten because they ran out of formula and she got a little baby crying in the background. She's not real, but she's testing the churches out to see who would say yes and no to a starving baby. 28 of them would say no. 28. 9 said yes. There was this old guy. He was like, I'm a great granddaddy, but he took the number and the name down and he was ready to go himself. And I thought that was the blueprint. But apparently those 20 other churches forgot the blueprint somewhere. I don't know. They're asking her questions like, did you call here? How about here? The Salvation Army, this, that, and the third. No, she called you and you're not helping. You're failing. You're failing the test right now. One of them said that she needed to be a member in order to receive like assistance like that. Another one said she could be put on a wait list that'll take a few days up to a week. That's crazy. The child is hungry now. Just for me, $51.99, $48.99, $187 for a 6-pack, $75.99 $39.99. You telling me the church don't got $100 to give this lady? One little formula. You don't got $100 to give this lady. She got to go through all these hoops and happy holidays, I guess. I would have never thought to test a church like this, because they're the church. Like, they supposed to help. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that we live in times like this and we get to see things like this. And I'm so happy that somebody was bold enough to start an experiment like this. The other thing is that this reminded me of a video I saw some time ago of this man of God. I think he was a Nigerian pastor, and he called for people, this same sowing seed thing. He called for people to come to the front to give a certain amount of money, something like that. And all these people walked to the front of the church. I don't know what it's called. They got to the front to meet the pastor. And this man said, okay, now anybody needs this amount of money, come forward. So let's say he asked people who had maybe 10,000 naira at the time to come forward. They all came forward. He said, if there's anybody in the church who needed 10,000, come forward. And all those people also came forward. And then this man said, give the money to the people who don't have it. And to be honest, that was crazy, because they were so reluctant in giving the money to the person who did not. They didn't have a problem giving it to the man of God, but they had a problem giving it to a fellow human being who needed it, right? And that's also another thing that we need to talk about. It's not just the churches themselves who do not help people in times of need and so on and so forth. It's this idea that giving to the man of God is giving to God. So a lot of people would bypass poor people who need the help, and give it to the man of God for a blessing instead of giving it to their neighbor. And that is the attitude of most Christians. Okay, because all these things can be avoided if we can help one another. You see somebody that is going through, you can help them. But nobody wants to do that. They'd rather go to the church, get called in the front so that everybody will know them to be these rich people. That's how it is. And that's why we find ourselves in this sort of predicament. That's why all these pastors can exploit a lot of people for so long. Because you are telling me that you don't have a problem standing in front of the church, giving 10,000 naira, $10,000, 10,000 pounds to a church. But then you see somebody there who needs that 10,000, who you can work with, you won't give it to them, but you rather give it to the church. And that's the other thing. It's time all of you that go to church, start holding all these churches accountable. Start calling them for help, because that's where you send your money. That's where you spend most of your time. Go to them, start asking them for help, and see if they will help you. See if they will help you. But anyway, thank you so much to that lady who started the experiments. Like I said, her name is there. Go check out the other 40 videos. I don't know how long she will go on for and how many more churches she will be calling. But yeah, this is the reality of most of these churches that you attend. So call them and find out if they will help you. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you again in another one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.